So let's continue on, and this is part 2. And what we're going to do now is picking up this item here and making sure that we only show the specific date. To do this, I'm going to scroll down here and we're going to look here somewhere in the X scale. We're going to start working on it. And what I want to do here very specifically is within the ticks, we're going to now start creating what we call a callback. So I'm going to create a callback here, and in this callback we're going to say value, I guess you can say the index and the values. Although these two will probably not be used, but who knows. Just prepare it in advance. Then we put in here a arrow function expression, and make sure we have a comma here, by the way, or else we get an error. Then what I want to do is in here, and let's make sure here we have double parentheses because we have multiple values. So we have the parentheses, and then here. So now what we want to do is the following. I want to create basically the following. Well, let's do a console log and get the value first so you understand what we're getting. If I refresh, right now we don't return anything, so don't worry about it. So it doesn't show anything here because there's no return, but we get the milliseconds in here. What we want to do is we want to grab this milliseconds information, convert it into a date, and check, is this January, February, or anything else? So what we can do here is quite simple. We're going to say a constant date will be equal to new date, and then we're going to say here whatever the value is. And then what we can do here then is to get the following. We can get the month or we can get the day. So what we need to do is two parts. First of all, I want to make sure we only show it on the 1st of January. If we have the 1st of January or the 1st of February, or basically the 1st of the month, then we show the date or the month itself. So what we're going to do here is, let's do a console log here first on what we get of the date. You can see here we get a full object here with the specific GMT or Greenwich Mean Time. And then we also have the date. We see this here, all of these things in here. So basically this July 1 or any other that we have, that is our way to work on filtering out. So what I'm going to say here, let's say here, I'm going to say / get the day number or the date basically. So what I want to do here is constant day number, and then we're going to say here we get this date dot get date, where we get the date number of the month. So if I do now the following, grab this, put in there, save, refresh. Now you can see we have two items here. Let me just remove this value. There we are. We can see here the month all the way from 1, and then it keeps on repeating here again consistently for every single date. So that's nice. So what I can do now is, if I would just return this, just return that one, save, we already get something, but I don't want this. I want it smarter. What I want to do is I want to get now the month. So how do we get the month? So say you get the month / and then what I want to do here is constant the month. You can say month name maybe, and then what I will say here, the month name, that will depend on what exactly. Well, I guess we can say maybe here the month name. Let's see how we do this. Well, we can say here maybe not month name but the month index number, because we will get a specific number of it, and then we're going to say a date dot get month. And by doing that, and then we say here console log get the month index, and I'm saying index here. I'm going to remove this day number here. You can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 6. This is correct. Why? Because we're working right now with an array, and then January is considered index 0, so month 0. So what we can do with this, because basically it has the same logic, we can create a simple array here. So I'm going to say a constant, and then we can say here maybe month name. That would make more sense. And then we make this array here January, Feb, March, I'm just going to put in 7 items. April, May, June, and finally July. Of course, you can do with your own dates. You can extend that to all the way to December. So what I want to do then is just get the month name, match that with the index number, or the month index. And if I save this now, we get now January all the way to July. Alright, so this works very nicely. So now, what I want to do, let's remove this. We're going to use the logic on this by creating an if statement. We want to filter out if, and what I will say here, if the day number, because I only want to show the day number if it's the first of the month, is equal strict to number 1. In that case, I want to return the month name, or what is that? Month index, or well, we can say here month name index. Save that, refresh. Now we're getting somewhere that looks quite nice. All right. So now we have this, and then maybe you might say, well, this is very tight. I understand. What we can do is we can reduce the tightness by controlling what we're showing. So just underneath the time, I'll do it here, but you could do it anywhere. I'm going to say here minimum will be 2023-01 January basically, and the maximum, to make it look nice, I'll just show here. We can do here February 01. Comma here at the back, save, refresh, and now we have it like this. Alright, so this looks like not really desirable. I'm just looking at here, unit type month, and this one here should, oh well, this is correct I guess, although I'm expecting this to be more tight. So let's see what I need to do here. Maybe let's say date. I'm going to check here, are we missing something? Let me just play around here with this display formats. I'm going to see if this would be necessary here. I'm going to say month, M. Doing this, alright, I feel like it's not really changing it, so let's see later on how this will work. Alright, we'll just leave it as it is for now. I assume that this here probably has no real effect. It still works nicely. We're going to put it in later on when we have the other skill we're going to add up in the next video.